I actually met Jessica through a common friend. My business partner knew her, and we moved office about 4 or 5 years into working together. And he recommended that Jessica come and bless our office space. So he talked about her before, and I was curious and had heard about this Jessica, but we wanted to have our office blessed to wish it good things. And so that's the first time I met Jessica, was coming into our brand new office and having her come and make a ceremony to wish us good luck in our new premises. Honestly, overwhelming feeling of I've met someone who can help me answer questions that I've had for a really long time. So there was always like a curiosity to, spirituality in terms of didn't really understand what else is out there. And just through conversation, because my friend knew Jessica already and they were speaking on a more perhaps informal level, I got some insight into the kind of work that Jessica does. And it was my first delving into energy work. Generally, I hadn't really played in that scene before, but I was curious about it. So the fact that she was so open, and that the first time, I met her, I happened to be going through some pretty intense, complicated relationship issues that I wasn't really sure how to figure out. And just through conversation with her and how she handled the business and how respectfully she was able to navigate her way through this blessing of our office, I felt like I needed to see her again and work with her on a personal one-on-one level to ask her more questions and get some more answers to things that she clearly showed me she would have some experience in being able to help me with. So that was a total unexpected but wonderful door opening for me of, hey, this is something in my life that I could definitely benefit from. Pretty fast. I think my first session was a real eye-opener for me. The first energy work that we did together was a real eye-opener for me because, Jessica has a background in so many different things that she brought to that session. So from simple kind of coaching and counseling, which helped me navigate some of the more like personal relationships and marriage and children and business ownership and parenting, and sort of, I'm in my mid-40s and primed for, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed, there's a lot going on, and she can relate to that. So her kind of background in counseling sessions, but really the energy work came into play because through conversation and through my first sessions with her, there was an immediate relief of, hey, I'm not crazy. There's a reason why I'm asking questions. There is more to life and my ability to navigate things than I've ever known before. And some very kind of simple theories that Jessica introduced me to I'd never had before. So like the sound healing work, and introducing me to even terminology, language around feeling emotionally safe, language around understanding other people better, and carrying childhood wounds for so long and trauma for so long that aren't a part of me. There was one exercise, I think, in the very first session that I did with her where she had me look in the mirror and tell myself that I loved myself, and I could not do it. I just was super emotional and the words wouldn't come out, and it was this realization of, oh my goodness, I've been shaped for so long, from my childhood through to my 40s, on a whole belief system that essentially needed to come crashing down and be rebuilt. And the energy work that she introduced me to really helped me understand what that looked like and felt like, and open me up for changing, having options that I didn't know existed, because you create belief systems and you create patterns and habits over time that just become part of who you are, and it's just how it is. And that moment of not being able to look in the mirror and say to myself that I love myself was like, okay, there's something that we need to dig into here. I've had therapy before, I've had counseling before, but there was something about the energy work with the lightness and the relief of being able to express myself in an emotionally safe way and share some of the things that I'm sure many people have that make them think, this is a crazy thought, I can't share it, I can't have it. And Jessica has this way of accepting, no judgment, and allowing people to just be who they are unapologetically. And that was a huge game changer. So we did that once, and then I was like, yeah, let's do some more of that. It's honestly been life-changing for me. Because it's a much less lonely journey than it ever was before. You know, when you're energetically sensitive, but that's all you've ever known, and that's just who you are, you take it for granted and you don't really understand it. But when you're introduced to somebody who can guide you through it safely and, you know, hold your hand while you discover what that looks like and feels like, it opens up a world of acceptance and finding a village and finding people and meeting people who are like you. And it doesn't make the journey easier. I think the journey is still challenging and tough, but it makes it less lonely, and it gives you access to a voice, to being able to share some of the feelings and thoughts around what being energetically sensitive means. And it's crazy, and it's a trip, and most people don't get it. Why would they? There are very few of us who have that gift, and we don't know we have the gift until we meet somebody else who either sees that in us or has it themselves and says, hey, you know, you're not crazy. There's several of us who can feel that, think that, see that, believe that. And that is, that's pretty much life-changing. Because like I said, if you've had that your whole life and that's who you are, but you've never asked the questions or done the work or tried to understand it, how would you know that that's anything outside of the ordinary? Jessica has an amazing way of just kind of picking at maybe some of the things that you wouldn't otherwise volunteer, because she has a gift herself of being able to feel things and understand things well past beyond the realm of what is traditionally considered, you know, normal, or I don't know what term is the right term to use, but it's a unique gift that she has, and I hadn't been exposed to that kind of power before. Very powerful experience. Everything. Habits that I had formed, belief systems that I had had. I remember in one of the first sessions, Jessica shared with me verbally changes linguistically that I could make in order to relate what I say to what I think and what I think to what I do. So there's this huge connection between what you say and what you think actually shapes the world that you live in. And I hadn't come across that before, the neuro-linguistic programming side of it. So things like, I would say to Jessica in the early sessions, I can't do that, or it's not working, or I haven't found the solution. And she would correct me and say, yet. And it's 3 letters. It's one small word, but it opens up the mindset that I'm not where I want to be, and I don't have what I want yet. Changes the whole potential. Like, hey, this is out there for me to have and for me to get and for me to be. And it's okay that I haven't found it yet, but there is hope. And it changes the darkness from there is no hope to there is hope. And then things like, I remember I would say quite often, I have to go and, pick up the kids, or I have to go and do this job for my business. And Jessica would say, or is it you get to go and pick up your kids? You get to go and do your drone business. And so they're very nuanced, small changes, but by changing how you speak, in turn, you change how you think, and things that otherwise seem quite dark become quite hopeful, become quite open and quite light to, this acceptance of, it's not as binary. It's not there's like a target, a goal. It's not the destination. It's the journey, and it's how we journey through that. And there'll be good days and there'll be bad days, and there still are. I don't know, 5 years in, probably. I'm a fair way into my roller coaster ride of energy work. Today's a very bad day. I'm having a horrible day, and I'm okay saying that because I know that temporary, and it's just one day, and it doesn't define everything. I think Jessica's helped me learn that how I feel in a certain space doesn't define, how things are forever. It's not an identity. It's an emotion. It's a feeling. And I have the power, I have the ability to determine what the next few minutes, years, weeks, days of my life look like. It's entirely up to me what happens. So I think that's a long-winded answer, but essentially you become more aware that you are the person driving your life, and it's a switch from I'm a passenger and things are happening to me to things are happening for me. And that's been critical. That's been a huge part of the energy work, and certainly being around Jessica for as long as I have is, you have a lot more choice and a lot more power than you think you do. And these constraints that you build for yourself, these walls that you build for yourself, are imaginary. They're self-inflicted. It doesn't define where you're at. You have situations that are built for you, for your growth, and not to you. So when you're able to figure that out, and it takes a minute, it changes every day, because every bad situation and every, bad bit of news and everything that comes your way, if you can have that mindset of like, hey, that does suck, it doesn't hurt any less, but what is the lesson behind it? Why is this happening to me? Or for me? Why is this happening for me? What can I learn from this? What is the lesson to be learned? It helps you get out of the funk of like this victim mentality and the martyrdom and the woe is me mentality that I think a lot of people, certainly I was victim to, and I know plenty of people in my circle who are still there, and it's eye-opening is when you see that, when you understand that difference and that dynamic. You walk around the world seeing things very differently, and hearing people still in that low vibing, oh, woe is me, this happened for me, and it's like you haven't yet got to the place where you'll realize how beautiful that experience is, so pretty cool stuff. Would say Jessica is very compassionate. I think she's committed and clearly dedicated to her work and the innate desire and gift to help people, like genuinely help people. I'm talking life change. My life is different and my life is better since meeting Jessica, and also since meeting some of the medical professionals in her field. Some of the people that she's introduced me to, have also impacted my life, and that's thanks to Jessica. So very committed, very dedicated, very accepting. I feel incredibly empowered to just be me around her, and I think that in my life and most people's lives, I guess we wear masks. When I'm in front of my kids, I'm a parent and I have to perhaps, watch my language or know that I'm a role model to them and that I can't fully be me, because fully me is an adult, and in front of my younger children, I can't do some adult things that, are part of who I am. And so that would be a mask. And at work, I own a business and I have staff who report to me, and I have to have a certain presence and persona of having some control and being in charge because I'm the boss. And so I can't throw a tantrum and flip out if I feel like it, because that's not appropriate. And so that's another mask. And with my husband, I have a wife mask. And with my family or extended family, there's a mask, right? So you go around life wearing these masks. And around Jessica, you can just take it off and you can just say, well, this is how it is. And she says, you're beautiful. And it doesn't matter if you have snot coming out of your nose, or you're crying, which is a lot of the time, or, you're just grumpy and cranky. And it's like, Jessica doesn't judge. That's a really cool thing about how she does her work. You can show up with anything and you can do anything and be anyone, and Jessica's just not going to judge you. And I think that's a really unique skill, is the lack of judgment. Super accepting of everybody. And I think a very genuine holder of space emotionally. So whereas a lot of people, I think, in my life, I have a lot of close friends. I'm blessed to have quite intense relationships and quite loyal relationships with my close friends. I think Jessica has a unique ability in her practice of holding space emotionally for people without trying to fix them or help them or problem solve. It's this unique ability to see people and hear people and then stop, where most other people in my life will hear me and see me and then try to fix me. You know, I'm crying, I'm sad, I'm having a bad day. Oh, you poor thing, big hugs. Have you tried this? Why don't you do this? How about you go here? Jessica doesn't do that. She just holds space for you. She allows you to feel those emotions and be whoever you need to be in that time and space. And it's kind of unusual, I guess. It's how things should be. But all of us go through life with trauma, and all of us have wounds, and all of us carry the mother and the father wound and the healing and the trauma and the whatever. And so it's unusual. I'm saying everyone, maybe that's a generalization, but most of the people in my circle, maybe I'm like in a very low-vibing circle, I'm not entirely sure, but it's unusual that I'd be surrounded with someone who just is just there. It's a presence. It's not a or I need to be somewhere. Can you tell me in 10 minutes what the problem is so I can fix it and get out of here? It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm here for this. However ugly or messy this is, I'm here for it. And then that's it. It's pretty unique, I would say. Oh my goodness, I've never experienced anything like this in the past. I'm someone who loves to try new things. I will say yes to anything. I will try stuff. I'm super open to new experiences, whatever I got to lose, right? But I think the energy work is completely off the beaten track because it encompasses a very large range of different techniques. And I think Jessica's very adaptable and flexible to picking up, on which days, at what time, she can help me the most. And I think that's quite unique. So she's, uses sound healing and her background in coaching, and there's essential oils, and she introduced me to a nutritionist, and she introduced me to someone who remotely could tap into my spiritual guides and surgically work on some medical problems right before surgery that I was having, remotely. Never done that before. Introduced me to another practitioner who, took an egg and rubbed it down my body, cracked it into a glass, and accurately told me about my life through the way that the egg cracked and the yolk showed itself up in a glass of water, and then blew smoke into my face with a South American indigenous feather. Like, we're talking off the beaten track here. I've been to a practitioner who's kind of out there, but the way in which that is received, certainly by me, whether it's, maybe it's not for everybody. I know plenty of people who won't even try it, right? They're scared and it's too weird and like, it's an egg. Why are you doing that? Fine. It's not for everybody, but it helps me so much that I don't have any other choice than to accept and admit that it's been incredibly helpful for me. And I can't recommend it enough. Jessica has such a wide variety of ideas and connections and networks and people, and it's like, I think she's very good at determining the boundaries of where she can help or can't help. So we went through like a nutritional thing for me, again related to previous to my surgery, where I was quite nervous about the surgery, and Jessica said, I don't feel like I can personally give you everything that you need for this, but let me introduce you to someone else who can. And sure enough, over a 12-month period, I worked very closely with this medicinal healer who was not using any drugs or traditional medicine. It was entirely, medicinal and herbal. But it made a big difference. I can't pretend it didn't, because it did. And I slept better, and my digestive system improved, and I had bloating. But what Jessica's done for me has worked and does work for me. And I can't say more than that. It speaks for itself. You kind of have to do it to see what the benefit is, because it's hard to describe. And, there's days where like, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to one of my friends, because I've referred many people to go and see Jessica, and one of them walked in with her daughter, and Jessica wasn't in the room. I hadn't told Jessica anything about this friend other than she has a daughter who wants to meet her, and Jessica walked into the room. I wasn't there, but my friend told me after, and Jessica took one look at her daughter and said, "Hey, what's going on with your hip, and why does your knee hurt?" And this kid's like 11 years old and has never met Jessica before, and the mom hadn't told her anything. And it's like, well, how do you do that? She's just sitting down in a chair. And Jessica will very nonchalantly shrug and say, the energy speaks for itself. Her ability to feel things and know things and heal things without any touch, without anything other than pure magic is super cool and very enlightening and very different. So that's how the work feels different. It is different. There's nothing else like it that I've ever come across. I mean, realistically, you're not going to know if something works for you or doesn't unless you try it. And this is a completely non-interventional, non-surgical, non-medicated approach. Literally, Jessica can work with you within a few inches of your body without touching you necessarily. And, what is your reservation? What are you afraid of? Why wouldn't that be something that anybody and everybody can try? It's so non-invasive that I personally don't understand why people wouldn't try it. But like I said, I have plenty of skeptics in my life who are mortified by it, and I think that says a lot about them too. What is it that you're afraid of? This stuff is super cool. It's so cool. I don't get the skepticism necessarily, but then it's how I've had it done and it works. So you can't be skeptical if you have it done and it works. I mean, try it. Genuinely is willing to put the work in, right? And by work, I mean like life journey type things. Because Jessica will not only pick up on maybe physically or emotionally where you're struggling, but she will also challenge you. So it's not like a walk in the park. This isn't a one and done type, hi, nice to meet you, here's a couple of things to work on. For me, it became very much a life choice of okay, there's a whole bunch of things about myself that I don't love because I can't look in the mirror and say that I love. And, what is that about? And through a lot of working with Jessica, I think there's a huge amount to gain in terms of your own progression and your own ability to raise your frequency and become closer to who you want to be as a person and be closer to your higher self you choose to be and want to be. Everyone has the potential, but most of us are stuck in a world that we create with boundaries and walls and, reluctance because the discomfort is comforting. The fact that we're uncomfortable in our lives, anxious and fearful and worried and scared is so familiar that unless somebody kind of pokes around and challenges that, you're going to live the rest of your life doing that. And Jessica has the ability to very gently, very well calculated, poke around in there and challenge you, not aggressively, but like hey, are you aware that there's another way of doing this? Have you ever considered changing how you think about that? Here's another opportunity. Here's another way to do that. Here's another option that you may not have known was available to you. So it's not an easy road or a quick fix, but it's, I think, worthwhile for anybody who is either curious about who they are. I always felt a bit different, and I always felt like I was more sensitive perhaps than other people, but it didn't make sense to me what that is, how to label that until I met Jessica. So anyone who's got a curiosity about, I'm a little different to everybody else, but I don't understand it and I don't understand why, but I've always been attracted to sunrises and sunsets and stars and the galaxy, and I have so many questions about the afterlife, and I can sense things in crowds of people that other people seem oblivious to, and I can pick up other people's emotions and filter them and dissolve them, and I don't know, everyone has special things that they can do. I have a list of special things, but I didn't know they were special until I met Jessica. So It's for anybody who's open-minded and willing to put the work in. I just wish Jessica the best of luck with her growing business. I'm very impressed. I follow her, on the social media pages and stay in touch with her, and I'm super impressed with how she's growing this, life-changing path to enlightenment, to awakening, to joy, to improving people's lives. She genuinely, is making the world a better place for a lot of people. I can hand on heart say that my life is better for having known Jessica, and that I wish her all the best in her growing business. I have no doubt that she will succeed, because what she does is truly exceptional, extraordinary, unique, and life-changing.